What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Chick coming at you with another World of Warcraft Season of Discovery guide. Today we are going to be talking about the Warlock and kind of how to have fun as a tanky boy or girl, obviously, as we got my lock over here chilling, looking like she's about to destroy your face. Anyway, before we hop into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that sub notification bell so you get notified every time I come out with a new video. Anyway, let's hop right into this. So, I'm going to be talking about the tank boy stuff, tank girl stuff, being a big tanky warlock. So, with the gear, some of this is wrong because I did this for Affliction, and then one of my friends was like, "Oh, it'd be really cool if you did tank warlock." So I'm like, "Cool, yeah, we're gonna do tanky girl, tanky boy, tanky lock stuff." Um, just make sure all of your gear has intellect, stamina, and get spell power where you can, obviously, as you normally would. Um, I'd probably stick with most of this. Some of it's gonna be a little different, some of it's not. Right? So you still want to be able to have a big mana pool because your stuff is still going to cost mana, and you also still want to be able to have more HP because you're going to be the tank. You get most of your avoidance from skills. You're going to be using some of the talents we're going to talk about here in a minute to help you stay alive, and it's going to be fun. So what we're going to look at first here, other content creators are putting out best in slot guides. I'm not going to go over that. I'm just going to go with what is fun, some of the stuff that may or may not be easier to get. And yeah. So first thing we got here, Spell Power Goggles Extreme. These are huge because just 21 spell power. It's just amazing off the rip. It's great. The necklace slot is going to be a little tough. So get a spectral necklace with, whatever enchantment it's got. Get the glowing green talisman because it's got Stam Spirit. It's going to help you out. Otherwise, get the droplet choker Stam Spirit from the actual raid itself. Engineering, resistance to silence effects. That's not going to matter too much in PvE. That might be worth doing in PvP. Who knows? Magician's Mantle. World drop. You may or may not be able to get this. So the one you can get guaranteed with a little bit of effort is going to be the Feline Mantle from the best dungeon in the game, Shadowfang Keep. So that's got 10 intellect, 3 spirit, right? So it's going to be huge on your mana pool. It's just going to be hard to beat that. So grab that when you can. The cape, resilient cape, 6 intellect. This drops pretty well, pretty often. You should be able to find this one in the auction house. If you can't, there's a couple of different quest ones. This one's going to be guaranteed. Soft Willow Cape. That's a quest reward in Ashenvale. Windsong Drape. Still pretty good. That is a quest in Thousand Needles. You might need some assistance to do that. But each one of these is pretty easy to get as far as those quest items. Flowing Scarf drops in the raid. You can get that when you can get it. And then Resilient Cape, like I said, will probably drop and should be available in the auction house. If you see the Dokebi Cape in the auction house when you are poking around, snag it because 5 stam is huge and it has a little bit of intellect. Other than that, Engineer's Cloak, that's going to be from a quest in Stone Talon Mountains. Super easy to get. I mean, just go through the quest ones. That's just the TLDR of that. Black Velvet Robes, that is going to be awesome if you can get it. We're not going to bank on that because, again, it's a world drop. Any of these world drops are going to be really good to get. The Azure Silk Vest, why would you get the Frost spell stuff? But another basically guaranteed item, Robes of Aragol. You're going to have Spirit, Int, Stamina, and Agility for, reasons. Yeah, get that. It's going to be guaranteed. And 5 Stamina is nothing to scoff at, as well as having pretty decent intellect on it as well. So on this slot, we are going to take Master Channeler. Your drain life is no longer channeled, lasts 15 seconds with a 15-second cooldown, costs 100% more mana, and heals you for 50% more each time it deals damage. So even without spell power, this is going to be a really decent heal for you while you are tanking. So you're basically just going to keep that on cooldown. You're going to be healing yourself back up, And it's just going to be really good, especially since, in my opinion, you should probably go ahead and tank Affliction or Spec Affliction, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So, Mind Thrust Bracers. Obviously, these are going to be the best ones you can get. Don't count on a world drop. So, popping on down. Bang. Here you go. +2 stamina, +5 intellect. Ashenvale. That is a crap drop, but can be farmed because we know what person to get it. Forsaken Deathstalkers. All right, Silver Threaded Cuffs. That's pretty frequent to drop. Don't underestimate the Featherbead Bracers from the quest in Thunderbluff for Ragefire Chasm. That is going to be decent. 3 intellect is good. I mean, it may not be a lot, but it's good, right? Again, just look for stuff you can get through quests. Staff of the Shade, world drop. Obviously, we don't think that's going to be guaranteed, but that's huge shadow damage. Witching Stave, same thing. But there is a Warlock quest that is awesome that's going to help you out if you go ahead and do it. The Orb of Sorenrook, however you say that guy's name. You'll be able to get that. I'm pretty sure the quest becomes available at level 20. Gives you some shadow damage, gives you some fire damage. Some of these other ones that are world drops are good because they have stamina on them. And the Stockades, Cam's Walking Stick, I wouldn't go out of my way to try to get this as Horde. If you happen to see it in the shared auction house, it might be worth. If you want to get a group and go to the Dead Mines to farm something that you can farm, guaranteed, the Emberstone Staff, 5 Spirit, 5 Intellect, or 5 Stamina, and 8 Intellect. That's going to be really good. Our version of that is the Crescent Staff from the Leaders of the Fang quest. A little bit of a quest chain to get to it, but all you got to do is Wailing Caverns. Not a big deal, right? But the stats on this are really good. 7 int and 7 stam. That one is my recommendation. Bang. Let's go ahead and just throw that on there. Easy money. Hands of Darkness. These are a tailoring pattern. You can grab those. I would recommend, if you're going to be tanking, to scroll on down here and go do the Lost Pages in Ashenvale to get the Shredder Operating Gloves because they got Stam and Int on them. So, in this slot, we are going to be taking Metamorphosis. Transforms into a demon, increasing armor by 500%, reducing the chance you'll be critically hit by 6%, and increasing your threat by 100%, increasing mana gain from life tap by 100%, and transforming the functionality of some of your abilities. God, that's a mouthful. Searing Pain, now instant, which is amazing. Shadow Bolt becomes Shadow Cleave, a shadow melee attack that hits up to 3 nearby enemies that has a 6-second cooldown. Curse of Recklessness now also taunts your target to attack you for 3 seconds, but gains a 10-second cooldown and range is reduced to melee. Demonic Charge. Demon Charge. Charge an enemy and stun it for 1 second. Cannot be used in combat. Demonic Howl is basically the AoE taunt from warriors. Forces all nearby enemies to focus attacks on you for 6 seconds. I don't remember what the cooldown is on that, but it's going to be a thing, right? So, Metamorphosis is awesome. So we're going to pop on down to the Belt of Argal. Basically a guaranteed drop. Just got to farm it. 10 int, 3 spirit, 2 agility. Big int. You can also get the Warsong Sash here. Gamura's Cinch is going to be good from the raid. And then a lot of these are just, good. Wizard's Belt is from a vendor. 8 intellect from a vendor is just fine. Again, I would look for something that's got int and stam on it if you have the opportunity. There you go. Super easy to get. Brimstone's Belt. Cool. Found one. There you go. A quest in Red Ridge Mountains that's got strength and intellect on it. Just pop through here if you don't already have something. So, moving on to pants. Silver threaded pants. This is a real drop. Can you get it? It's got stamina in it though, right? Here's another pair of pants that are world drop stamina in it. Tailoring. We don't care because frost spells and effects. But a lot of these are decent. Just look through here, find something that's got intellect and stamina if you can. And then the enchant we're using here is going to be Demonic Grace. Surge of Fell Energy, increasing your pets and your own dodge chance by 30%, and your chance to critically strike with all attacks by 305, last 6 seconds. So basically, That's going to be your oh crap button when you're tanking, which is going to be great. These boots are only available if you're a tailor. It's going to be harder to make. They've got all the stats you want. They've got, you know, all kinds of things. You're not going to use their own use if you're tanking because it reduces your threat, but everything else is good there. Boots of Darkness are going to be awesome. They are made by tailoring, increases shadow damage, and gives you stamina. Silver threaded boots, stam int, world drop though. Spider silk boots, these are basically best in slot for everybody that's not a tailor that can get their hands on them. Those are probably going to be expensive. They're crafted, yada yada. Like I said, go down through here, try to find something that is a quest reward that is going to give you intellect and stamina. Is going to be your best bet. All right, Advisor's Ring. You're going to get Warsong Rep anyway. Get this. It's going to give you spell damage, MP5, and staminas. And then I would not get the Black Widow band to tank. What I would do to tank is one of these other ones that has anything other than -5 stam. Because you really don't want to get -5 stamina, right? RFK, if you can get a group that wants to farm RFK, that would be good. But the likelihood that that's going to drop is really low. Mutanus the Devourer drops really good ring. 6 spirit, 3 stam, 3 intellect. Literally, most people are going to want that. So go for the Deep Fathom ring. You're going to be able to get the Invoker's Void Pearl from the raid. So that's going to be that slot. I don't anticipate you're going to be able to get the Arena Grandmaster Trinket. I just threw that in there. And then Cookie Stirring Rod. Getting a wand, just get a wand. It doesn't really matter, to be completely honest with you. Just get what you can. The best is, you know, going to be the best, but, you know, as you can notice, none of these actually have stats. They're all just going to be like your ranged way of pulling and things, right? So let's go ahead and hop into the talents, and we'll talk about what I think you should pick for talents to tank, and also the other and fun runes. So improved corruption. Instant corruption is always good because you're going to be able to corruption, agony, and then throw up your heal over time dot, which is going to be awesome. Improved life tap. Since your life tap spell gives you more mana while you're in metamorphosis, you want it to give you back absolutely as much as possible. And since it is 100% more effective when you're in metamorphosis, that means this is also 100% more effective. So instead of 120%, you're getting 240% of the amount of mana you would get normally. So this is just going to be huge. I'm going to be using improved drain life. The reason being, it is going to make your drain life hot, deal, and provide 10% more HP, which is going to be awesome. Amplify curse, just use this whenever you need to, whenever you want to. I would just pop this on agony whenever you were using agony. It's going to be fine. Improved curse of agony, increase the amount of damage done by your agony, because we're still going to be using our dots, right? And then, you know, obviously we're going to be able to move things around. You're going to be able to do Siphon Life later. My 2 cents is that this is going to be better. I want to see what the interaction between Nightfall and Shadow Cleave is going to be. So that's going to be something, because it reduces the cast time of your next one. Does it reset the cooldown? What does it do? Right? That's going to be something. And then you're just going to have a lot of cool things down through here. Obviously, you're going to be able to spec other ways if you would like in the other trees. This is just what I think would be effective, and it may not be most effective. I want to put that out there. These are not meta guides. These are guides for what I think I would do and what I think would be fun. So, had that comment a couple of times. Don't be that person. So, we've already talked about Master Channelers, so let's talk about Demonic Tactics. Increase the melee and spell critical strike chance of you and your pet by 10%. Free 10% crit. Who doesn't like that? That's awesome. I wouldn't recommend doing this if you were going Affliction, because the majority of your damage comes from things that cannot crit. Lake of Fire. Rain of Fire also leaves a Lake of Fire on the ground that increases the fire damage you deal and your demon pet deals to affected enemies by 40%. Cool, we're just putting a debuff on people who stand in our fire. Stand in the fire. All right, Soul Siphon. Increases the amount of drain by your drain life and drain soul spells by an additional 6% for each of your Warlock shadow effects affecting the target for a maximum of 18. So that's what I would snag if I were doing something other than tanking. Demonic Grace, that's one we just talked about. Demonic Pact, this one is, you know, in Wrath and stuff. Your pet's critical strikes apply the Demonic Pact effect to your party members for 45 seconds. Demonic Pact increases the spell damage and healing by 10% of your spell damage, or 13, whichever is higher. So we're going to be a little low. 13, maybe more than 10%. We'll see. It's awesome. It does not work on subjugated demons because subjugated demons have different stats, yada yada. Everlasting Affliction. I like this a whole lot. Drain Life, Drain Soul, Shadow Bolt, Shadow Cleave, Searing Pain, Incinerate, and Haunt refresh the duration of your corruption on the target back to its maximum duration. That's the one I'm going to use. So basically you only have to throw one corruption up on your target, and then everything you do to it is going to just keep it there. So especially on like boss fights and stuff, that's going to be great. Incinerate! Oh, big ol' yawn. Sweet. Burn your enemy for 96 to 111 damage and increase fire damage you deal by 25% for the next 15 seconds. That's just going to be good if you're destruction, period. Especially since we're going to have something that's doing fire damage on the hand rune, which is Chaos Bolt. Sending a bolt of chaotic fire damage at the enemy, dealing 225 to 286. Oh, it's such big damage. Chaos Bolt always hits, cannot be resisted, and its knowledge causes all of your fire spells to pierce through absorption effects. Oh man, I am sorry, Priest. You are going to get rip and pepperonied by these. Haunt, this is where I am going. If I don't do tanky boy stuff, unleash a ghostly soul on an enemy, dealing 108 to 127 damage and increasing shadow damage over time you deal to that target by 20%. When the haunt ends or is dispelled, you'll be healed for all of the damage it dealt. So, Haunt's just going to throw you back a little bit of HP. We already talked about Metamorphosis. And then Shadow Bolt Volley. This is just better Seed of Corruption for, 5-mans. Your Shadow Bolt now strikes up to 5 targets with a within a chain distance of 10 yards, but for 20 reduced damage. So, like, cool. Shadow Bolt's your hardest hitting spell. It's going to hit 5 dudes. Sweet! Pow! Such a good ability. Anyway, that's it for this. This is awesome. This is my lock named Lock. Haha. Anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button. Thanks for sticking around. I will catch you guys in the next one. If you have any comments on what you would like me to do next, go ahead and put it in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.